Oh, good evening, y'all. This is Tom here, and welcome to Cab Crew Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good day. See, we got a few people in here tonight. This cold days we've been having here. Talk about that in a little bit. Good evening, Tammy and Ray. Welcome. Passing by you. First time I've seen you here. That's Rusty, right? I think I got that right. If it is, let me know. If it isn't, let me know. And we got John from Schuylkill Valley. Hey, John, welcome. Glad to see you in here. And Dwight Curley showed up. Hey, Dwight, how you doing? You got a lot of snow out by you. It snowed here today for a little bit. Just a little covering, not much. And been very cold, though. It's been in the 30s and 20s and in the teens at night, but not much going on in as far as the weather being warm or not. And it's been very cold here. And that's why I got a long sleeve shirt on. It's 72 in my office with no heat on, so I can't complain about that. So got more coming, huh? Yeah. So that's what's the weather was. It's just been so cold. It's a little too soon for this kind of cold weather. But what can you do? You know, winter time doesn't start until the 21st of December. So looks like winter got here early this year. And that sort of thing. So I been working on some more lights on my layout. You guys didn't see my video at my nighttime views. I was testing all the lights and I got them all working finally. Then I said, oh, I got a few other things that I wanted to light up, and I got them finalized today. The final part from Amazon came in that I needed to automate the lights in the one area. On here, if we go here, you can see this is a substation, and I designed these poles and 3D printed them, and then the LEDs and the wire goes through that and it's drilled up and it's hidden up behind here, and it's set up so the lights go all the way around the fence on the substation. And That's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time and just haven't gotten around to doing it. So now I had some time on my hands. I said, it's time to do it. So I did it there. The other two, um, I don't know if you're going to be able to, you won't be able to see the lights because the light in the train room, overhead light, is on and it's bright. But there's a substation there, right there, and there's lights all around that. You can't see them. And then if we go to the upper deck, fifth level, you can see the lights on at this station because it's kind of in a darker area up there. So that's what I did. All lights around them, and that lights up the substation now. So that's one of the things I was working on. And so um, I was waiting for a 12-volt power adapter, the kind that it has a barrel on the end, and you can connect it to another plug, and that plug has two screws on it, and you can put two wires on it, and then that gets the power to that little line that you run. And so these LEDs, I got them from Amazon, I think, and yeah, it was from Amazon, and they were 3mm LEDs, yellow, with two wires soldered onto them already, and they had a resistor on it, so I didn't have to do anything to the wires, just connect them and put them on, and then just get the polarity plus or minus right on the power adapter. Once I got that figured out, then they're all automated. They come on and they go off at the nighttime with the rest of the nighttime lights and stuff. And this another thing I'm trying to do. Uh, these are pumps 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you notice, um, pumps 1, 3, and 4 are going faster than pump 2. Okay. Um, and then down the next level down, hey Jim, how you doing? This in time, I'm showing you the pumps right now. And there's Jim Tedesco, welcome. And these are the original motors I got for the pumps, and they work fine. It's just that they're going too fast, in my opinion. And I tried the pentameter to tighten, to turn them down, and that worked a little bit. But when a train's run any vibration, it moves the pentameter a little bit, and then they go a little faster and stuff like that. So I didn't think that was a good idea. And then one of these pumps, pump 2, the motor died on it, and I had to get new motors. So I went on Amazon. They had motors. So I ordered a motor, and it came with 2 motors. This is the motor. Has a dual shaft on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a dual shaft motor that goes inside the pump. And this is 53 RPMs. And that's really slow. So I ordered from Amazon some more motors to replace all these, so they'll all be going real slow. So that's the speed. See how slow that's going? That's what you usually see. Oh, sure. There's a motor. It's dual shafted. Let me see if I can get my finger off of the shaft. It's dual shafted, 2 shafts, one on each side. So when you slide that down into the pump, that slides down, and then on the side, each of the shaft, you hook up those. Let me bring myself back. Let me bring up the motor up here again. And this one. You see these things going around. They go onto the shaft on each side, and then that spins, and that's what makes that go around like that. So I have 6 pumps altogether. One already has this motor in it. This is for one more, so I ordered 2 more packs, and they come 2 in a pack. So they're coming from China, even though they're coming from Amazon. They won't be here until it's supposed to be here between the 17th and the 24th of December. I keep tracking it, and on the Amazon app, you can track your packages. And all it says is that the shipper has it or something like that. It hasn't even gotten on a plane to get over to the United States yet. So it's going to be sometime late next week when that comes in, and so just waiting for that order to come. Then all the pumps will look like they're supposed to look. Because I did some research and looked at them, and they were going slow. And I talked to Jim about it, and I told him what the motor was. But once all of them come in and they all start doing the same thing, then I'm going to send Jim a link to the motor that I got. Then he can do the same thing on his. So that's what's in the works. So that's just a side little project that I have. I didn't want to mess around too much with anything else till I get a couple other things done. And last week, I griped about the post office not moving packages. And well, the next morning, things started moving and things started coming in. Hey, Dave, welcome. So the stuff came, and then the thing from Walters was still messed up, and it finally got to where it said it was out for delivery in the morning. And then I looked at the app again, and then it said it went back to another distribution center. But when the postman came, I went out to meet him, and he had a package for me, and it was a package. So somebody scanned the number wrong. Somebody did something wrong, and then it was marked as delivered, and it got here. So I was real happy that the Walters came back, so I can get my turntable working again. Right? Well, I rushed into the house. I cut the package open it up, and I go, this isn't what I was expecting to see. So what they sent me, I'll make myself bigger again. They sent me one of these. If anybody has a Walters turntable, you'll know what this is. This is the control panel that goes into the fascia. And these 2 buttons here are your up and down. So you hit track down there, and then you can go up or down to get the turntable to go which direction you want to go into. So that's the trouble I was having. I could only see track 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0, 2. So the day it was out for delivery, I was, I said, hey, I want to get this thing installed as soon as possible. So I went behind the layout, got behind underneath the turntable, and I want to take off the electronic part of the Walters turntable. It's a blue round device, and it has 4 little screws that hold it in place. Well, I took a Phillips screwdriver, put it up there, and I couldn't break the 2 screws closest to me. And I turned. I got a Dremel tool with the smallest bit on it, tried to remove them. They stripped. So now I said, now I'm screwed. I can't get them screws out. I can't remove that thing, right? So I go, what am I going to get? So I went out and I got this kit here. And inside this kit are all bits that'll remove a stripped screw. And you got an adapter here for it. You got another adapter here for it. It's real small. And they call that an ADP. And then this is a bit holder. And you got different sizes. This is good for jewelry. Like if you have a watch that the screw, you're trying to take the watch apart or something like that. For phones, this is a real small bit at the very end there. I don't know which one of these is going to work for that little screw. I haven't tried it yet. This came on, this part here came on the weekend, on a Saturday. So I couldn't call up Walters on a Saturday or Sunday to explain it to them. Hey, I got the wrong part. So I said, okay. I emailed the guy from Walters and I told him, because I already have 2 of these on my layout. I got one in the front and one in the back, so I can control the turntable if I'm in the back of the layout if I need to, or in front of the layout. And so I said, okay, I'm going to disconnect both of those and I'll put the one he sent me. Maybe something in here was bad, right? I put it on, got the same exact results. So I got another one of these now. Maybe I'll stick it somewhere else on the layout. I don't know. And so then Monday comes and I try to call Walter. I call, no answer. Voicemail. I emailed him, no response. And then I called, and then I finally got somebody on the phone, and I said, hey, is a guy there? And he says, I don't know for sure. He's busy. We're really busy today, blah, blah, blah. He'll get back to you. I said, okay, great. So then I said, okay. So then I called Tuesday, and I got a hold of him. And then I explained to him, and he says, oh, that's my fault. I must have sent you the wrong part. And I said, okay, no big deal. So he had one. He said he was going to try to get it out on Tuesday. I don't know if he did or not. I tried calling him today. I couldn't get through. So I'll try calling him tomorrow to see if it was shipped out or not. Then that'll be another couple of days before that gets here. Hopefully it doesn't run the same gamut as the last one did. And or it's already on its way. And I don't know because I don't have a tracking number. I can't track it to see what's going on. But as soon as I saw this, I said, I'm in trouble. And So I'll be able to get those screws out with this kit. So that's good to have that. And um, that's enough about the Walters thing. So hopefully that'll come probably, if it's on its way, it could be here this week, late in the week, Saturday again, or early next week it'll be here, and then I'll be able to get that straightened out and stuff like that. So I don't know, just some weird things that don't work right? So I've been printing the mini me's that I made for two people, Dave and Rick. Rick Rollman and David Knight. And Rick is getting O scale guys, and Dave is getting the HO scale guys. So behind me, I have the two resin printers, and that's what I print all the people on. So the 4K is a smaller build plate. I'm printing the HO scale guys on that, but I only can do one at a time because I don't want to put them. I could put them all on the build plate and put them all at once, but then I would have to know which one is which. So I got this plastic bag, and I'm writing the names on there. Hey, Russ, welcome. And I'm putting the names on there. When I print it, after I print it, I put it in water overnight. And then in the morning when I get up, I scrape it off. It comes right off. And then I can cut the supports off of it, put it in the curing station and cure it. And then I can stick it in a bag. And then I got, each individual in a unique bag so that when the guys get them, they'll know who they are. So try to make it easier for the people once they get it. Because, if you're doing just one, like I sent to Jim, I did Jim's, I sent him his. And I did all of them at once. He wanted, I made 30 of them or whatever, how many I made for him. I sent them to him. He knows who that is because it's him, or if I send an individual to one, they'll know who that is, right? So it's easier when I'm printing them and everything like that. So on the then on the 8K or the 6K, yeah, the 6K is a 6K. That guy is printing the O scale ones, and they take about 3+ hours to print the taller model, and the mini ones are like an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes to print the HO scale minis. So the other day I was printing a guy, and it came out, and half of them was cut off. And I go, what the heck happened there? So then I said, flake. Maybe the file was bad. So I sliced his file and was going to reprint it again. But I said, let me print another guy just to see. And that guy didn't print at all. It just came up with nothing on it. So I said, okay, the first guy that failed might have left something on the FEP, which is the film that's in the bin of the resin bin. And so I took the resin bin off of the 4K printer, and I poured the resin into the bottle so I can empty out that. Then I cleaned it all out. And then on the FEP, it was almost completely covered. Hey, Joe Rader, welcome. Never late, Joe, never late. And the whole thing was covered with resin on the bottom of the FEP. And then in the center where the bottles print, there was a little piece of the person from the one that failed. So I cleaned it all off. That's what you usually do when you have a failed print. You just have to be careful. I have a plastic scraper and I scrape off all the stuff off the FEP. And I got it all cleaned off and I cleaned it up and got all the filament out of it, the resin out of it. And I cleaned it and I looked at it and I noticed, I don't know if you're going to see it, right there where my finger is, there's a tiny, it's a smaller than a pinhole in the, this is the FEP, what I'm tapping on here. This is all dirty because I didn't clean this. I removed this from the bin today. So I went to Amazon and they carry anycubic resin printer parts. Well, that's a anycubic photon mono 4K. Well, I went to Amazon and I saw photon mono 4. I didn't see the K, I saw 4. So I said, okay, that's got to be it. So I ordered it. They came yesterday. I opened up the package, took it out. It says, that's not the right one. It's too big. So I put it back in, set up a return to send it back. I went on to Amazon again. Now I looked for Mono 4K. Well, I found the Mono 4K. I ordered that. That came today. I put all the screws back in the thing, and it printed a model. And so the model is in the water now. I leave it in there for several hours, and then it makes it a lot easier to work with the model after it's been setting in water. Now that's because that's water-based resin. So I don't know how the regular resin will work that way in water, because usually you have to put that in alcohol, and water's cheaper than alcohol. And the water-based resin is, they're the same, relatively the same price. One might be a little higher than the other depending on the brands. Jim Tedesco told me about this place where I got, I don't know, I think there were 6 bottles for X amount of dollars. It was cheap per bottle. And I'll probably go back to that place. I'm getting low on that. And the white resin is so much easier to paint. When Barbara paints the characters for me, the white is easier to cover than the other colors. So it makes it a lot easier. So just get white resin, and unless I got a special project to do, I'll use the other colors. So that's what was going on with that. But I was so anxious to order another FEP. See, what's nice about these and the one for the 6K, they come already assembled. And then all you have to do is screw this on. Before, you used to get the films. Yes, Russ, paint sticks well to the, we use acrylic paint. And that works really well on the resin prints, because all the people are with acrylic paint. My wall is covered with different kinds of colors, and So we never had a problem with it coming off or anything. I can take a person that I printed and, you can scrape it, it won't come off. That's pretty good. And if you cure it, if you cure the model after you've cleaned it up and removed the supports on the model, then you put it in the curing station. I run the people for 2 minutes in the curing station. When I take it out of the water, okay, I put it on a paper towel on my desk here, and actually, after I scrape it off the bill plate, I drop it on a little plate that I have a, a, rubber mat that I put down on the floor, and that's where I work on the floor to take off the models. And it when I take it off the model off, then I grab it by the supports on the bottom, put it back in the water, and just swish it around just to get anything off of it. And then I take it out and I drop it on the paper towel that I had cleaned off the bill plate with. It's all crinkled up. I drop it on there, just let the water come off. Then I bring it over here and I get my snips, and then I can snip off all of the supports. And I snip off all the supports, and then I put it in the curing station for 2 minutes. Comes out completely dry. I put it in a plastic bag, and away it goes. So, but like I was saying, these here are assembled for you. In the past, you used to get the FEP film. Then you'd have to cut it to size. Then you'd make it bigger than this. Then you would screw this together. And then you'd put that in the bin. And then you'd have to cut off the edges and all that stuff. This makes it a lot easier. They got smarter. They make it a lot easier to change the FEP on the resin printers. The big one is the same thing. You just put it in, boom. When you buy them, you get 2 of these. So I got another one, but this one here lasted me over a year. So if you take care of them, they'll last a long time. Okay, like I'll leave the resin in there, which is better for them than to leave them empty. So I don't take out the resin unless I'm changing a color or some other reason why I want to remove the resin from the resin bin. But rarely, like I don't. Those 2 resin bins have had that white in there for almost a month now. The same batch of white doesn't take up that much to print one of the characters. So it's full of white resin, and it keeps it going. So, so speaking of 3D printing, before I go any further with any of the other things I want to talk about, this Sunday on what's the name of the show? Sidetrack Sunday. I'm going to be a guest on the show. DB Tech Dave will be there, and Bob from PK and Waterworks channel, he'll be on. We're going to be discussing 3D printing. I don't know what the topics are going to be, but they invited me up because I do a lot of 3D printing, and they want my insight, I guess. So that's this Sunday coming at 8 o'clock. So anybody interested in that, please watch and see what we can help you understand or have any questions. I don't know what the forum's going to be like, so can't tell you that yet. But Sunday night, I'll be on with the Sidetrack Sunday guys talking about 3D printing. So I think Dave did a live stream the other night, and he talked about it a little bit on the show that night. So if you want to watch his live stream, if you didn't see it, might catch him talking about what they were talking about. Because I joined his show late, and he said, "Oh yeah, we could bring Thomas on," and I didn't know what they were talking about. Then afterwards, I heard him talk about, "Oh, you want to come up on the show?" And I said, "Okay." So then I emailed him, and then we're gonna, touch base later on and get that straightened out. So good, Russ. That'll be good. So that's something that's coming up. This Sunday, well, during the day, okay, I got a birthday party to go to. It's my grandson's first year birthday. So we'll be celebrating his 1 year birthday on Sunday. They're having a big party, stuff like that. So it's already been a year. He was a that was number 4 grandchild. So and then for those of interest, thanks, John. Thanks again, John. Hey, Stormy, welcome. How you doing, Dave? So, hey, Anthony, welcome. How you doing? Started any packing yet? So, Barb was here the other day, and hey, James, welcome. She was here the other day, and I bring her over here so she can rest. When she's at home, she does nothing but clean and try to keep the house straightened out. With grandson and her son living there, it's hard to keep it clean. And 2 dogs, dog hair all over the place and all that. So she's always busy doing stuff and stuff like that. So I come over here and relax, and because I can't have her paint anything because of her eye surgery. And she when she paints the HO figures, which I need, she wears those glasses that magnify things, and she was worried about that. But the doctor said, no, that ain't going to affect your eyes, and don't worry about that. But then, was it Monday or Tuesday? Today's Wednesday. Monday, she was here for a couple hours, and I'm explaining that right now, John. She started not being able to see out of her eye again, and she was able to see good. She saw a lot better than she was after the operation. It started to clear up, and it was very cloudy and floaters in her eyes and all this other stuff. And then it started to deteriorate. She said, I'm having a hard time seeing out of my eye again. And she didn't see black like she was before. So then I said, you better call the eye doctor. So she called today when she was here, and they said, okay, come in. So then they found out that she's still bleeding inside her eye, and she has to go back again to the eye doctor and find out what's going on. So yeah, I think it's going to be a long process to get that straightened out. So, hey, Grandpa Rails, welcome, JD. How you doing? So she's going to be out of commission. She can paint bigger things because you can see with the one eye, but the little stuff is going to be real tough to do. So I'm not in no rush. I got all the Dessler people to print, but I don't have no time. I don't need to get them done that fast. So I'm not worried about it. Rather have her get healthy and than worry about my little people to get painted. So um, it's she's doing better, but she was a little upset that her eye was giving her trouble. You gotta take it one day at a time. Can't rush things and stuff like that. So I think she's got another appointment with the eye. The eye doctor wasn't in the office that operated on her. That's who she needs to talk to. And he'll be there on Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday, we have to take her back over there to the eye doctor and see what's going on. So that's the status for her. She's doing good, better, but still can't see well. So makes it difficult. And so that's her status. And Tammy, if you're still here, I did get your email. Thank you very much. I'm going to be going up to Amherst, and Barbara will come with me, and we're going to be staying with Tammy, Ray, and Artie in the house, and whoever else is coming, I don't know yet. But that's going to be a fun weekend up there. So I'm looking forward to going to Amherst again. And anybody else that's going to be there, we'll be sure to catch up with you and say hello and everything like that. So, talk about all that stuff. Talk about watching Sidetrack Sunday. Grandson. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show you guys. I was. Oh yeah, yeah. That's not fun either. But I don't know. She doesn't. She had cataracts done years ago. And I think something happened with the cataract in the eye, and that's what caused it to start bleeding and stuff. That's my theory, but I'm not sure. I'm not an eye doctor, but just my uh, on my research of eye problems and what she was describing to me. I put those symptoms in my search and found if you had cataracts done, this would cause this and that. So I think something might have happened from the cataracts. I just hope they can correct the problem and get her back to normal and be able to see proper. That's the most one of the most important things is to be able to see. Hearing is the other thing too. You know, gotta be able to hear and see. So anyway, did I say welcome, James? I think I did. Yeah. How you doing, James? Thanks for stopping in. So I was watching some videos on YouTube, and I find funny videos and I send them to Jim Tedesco. But I found this other very interesting video. It's something to do with trains, and it's called it was called Stealth Track Cleaning, and that caught my eye. And I'm always looking for something better to clean track, right? So what this guy does is he takes an engine and an older engine, and he takes the motor out of it. And in the frame, he bores out 4 holes. Then he puts a spring-loaded screw through the hole, and on the other end of the screw, he puts a pad. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, two. You get two. Yep, $20. Yeah, mine was. I forget what I paid. I don't. I just. I don't. I don't worry about that. I just order it and it goes. So it was 20 some dollars, I think, for the two, which is good. Two of them. Well, like I said, that one there lasted me a year, so can't beat that. So, um, so after he bores it out, he puts the spring loaded screws in through the holes, and then the other side he puts two pads on the front of the engine pads. He puts um, felt paper. And when I had cataract surgery, I got an abrasion. They gave me stem cells, and I can heal it. Yeah. I don't know how extensive hers is, and until we get to see the surgeon again, we'll figure that out. So, like I'm saying, on the front of the engine, he puts two felt pads on it, and then the back two pads have an abrasion pad on it. Little round pads, about not even the size of a dime, smaller than that, right? And then he puts a decoder in the engine. He puts a 3 millimeter LED headlight in the front of the engine, and he puts a speaker in the engine. Plenty of room since taking the motor out, right? Then he makes that a part of the consist of the train, puts that in the front of the train, and in his videos, you can see how shiny his track is. And when those engines are running and that light is shining, you don't even see it flicker a bit. Now you can see lights flickering on trains running around because it's hitting a dirty piece of track somewhere, right? This method cleans the track and it's an engine, right? Now he has the chassis. You can buy the chassis for certain models, right? So I 3D printed today. This is a GP18 shell. That's a GP18 shell. Grills on the top, lights, headlights, rear lights, right? This one here is a GP38 3D printed. Now, this was all printed on my Bamboo Labs A1. The grills are separate prints. So I printed them on the A1, but it didn't print the grills. So I got to print the grills on the resin printer. Yeah, this is they came out really clean on the Bamboo Labs A1. The 18, the GP18, no supports whatsoever, none. Flat on, printed it out perfect. A GP7, I didn't see any GP7s. A GP18 is the smallest I've seen. The GP18 had supports inside. No, JD, I have only have a 4.0 nozzle. I never got a 2.0 an O2 nozzle. Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, they came out really good. So yeah, it printed. Um, I printed it with the Bamboo Labs A1, and it printed it nice and smooth and clean. They're perfect. Now I'm gonna see. I want to have a track cleaning car on each main line, and I got 12 of them. So I need to get different models, right? And I have SD40s on a lot of my trains. And then there's another one that I'm not sure what the model is, because Bowser, both of them engines are a Bowser engine. And I don't know what the model number is. Like you can get an Athearn, a Rapido, scale trains. You can get it. They have them in GP9s. They got them in SD40s. They got them in SD70s. They got ACE 70E and all that. The Bowser didn't label them that way. I don't know what they are, so I can't look for that model anywhere because I don't know what it is. Okay. Now, for the subway system, I think I'm still going to use that little track cleaning car, and that seemed to work pretty good. So I want to make a second one, and I don't know, and maybe I can make uh, something to go on the subway train and have it push it around all the time. So this guy runs the train on there all the time, and every so often you have to take it off and change the pad and put a new pad on it. And I don't know why he puts the grit one on the back and the polished one on the front. I got to ask him that question, because I would think the other way around. After you clean it, don't you want to polish it? Not sure. So yeah, no support. Yeah, Dave, no supports on nothing. It just printed. See, it put supports on the GP38. It put supports inside here, so that helped the roof there. GP18, no supports at all, and it printed everything. It even printed the two holes for the LEDs on the front and the back. There's slots here, printed those. The windows, with the frame on the windows. Um, the grills on the top, that was all done on the filament printer. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. See the grills on the top? This is all printed on the A1. This guy here even has a horn on the top. It printed. This didn't print the grills. So that's a separate file. When I get done with the people, I'll print the grills for this. So thanks, John. Yeah, they came out really good. So I'm happy with them. I'm going to probably order the frame for the GP38, because that's what he has on his website. And the channel is what's his channel? The Track Cleaning Guy. That's the name of his channel, Track Cleaning Guy. And if you look up on YouTube, you can look it up. He has a website. If you're interested, you can email me. I can send you the link, or I can post it on here if you guys want it. I can somehow. Let me see. Oh no, it's all words. You're not going to be able to get it. I'd have to go on the site to get it and then post it again. But if you're interested in it, let me know. I'll send you the link to the guy, or just look up the track cleaning guy. I just found him. He's only got like 60 subscribers to his channel. He has a handful of videos on track cleaning stuff. And if you want to do it yourself, he has the kits, and you just get the parts to do it. And all you need is a drill press and a vise. So the vise will hold the frame on the drill press. Who's Steven? Who does? Oh, Steven Wigwag. Hey, Steven, welcome. Okay, Anthony. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good one. We'll catch you later. Yeah, Jam Creations. That's it. Oh, good. You got one? Did you get the frame? They have he has covered hopper cars with the 4 things in them. Yeah, that's it. Jam Creations. That's right, JD. And so it's something very interesting. I want to see how that works. And but I still question the fact that the polisher's in the front. It should be. I think it should be in the back, but we'll have to see how it works. Oh, you got an open hopper with the company name on it. Good. Yeah. So you can. He even sells the coal loads on his website, right, JD? Did you see those? That they add weight. You have to make sure you have enough weight in those cars, so that the springs in the on the 4 screws go up and down as it's going over, um, certain types of track. Like you might have a little dip in the track, or you might have a little bump in the track or something. That the springs will compensate for that. And as it goes around the corner, I think those pads will spin as it's going around the corner, stuff like that. So, see now, I like the idea of it being in an engine, because then that makes it look like a consist, right? You have it in a freight car that has to be part of the train, but I guess if you're running it all the time, it doesn't matter. But I would like to have the track cleaned with something in front and go with that. So, I mean, I got a project going on of putting keep alives in all my engines. Thanks, Jim. And keep alives in all the engines in the mainline and trains. I got a few more to do. The smaller engines that I use, like I have 2, I think they're GP 30s or GP 38s. I'm not sure. They have the thing you can take off, and then you can see inside. Well, I got the current keeper from Soundtracks, the smallest one, but it sticks out, so that thing doesn't go down on and stay on good. I 3D printed an extension to it, but I just don't like the way it looks. So the guy who makes the guy who makes that buddy board, he also makes current keepers, and they're the Power Bridge number three is real small, and the capacitors can be located in a different spot. That way you can, like all these other current keepers, everything is shrink wrapped together, which is a good process. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you don't have the room for the capacitors, close the lid, the shell down onto the frame. So that's what happened with those two engines. I moved the current keeper up, but now I can get the power bridges. And the thing I like about the soundtracks decoders, they plug right into their soundtracks decoders, right? And even on the boards, they have a receptacle for current keeper. So with the power bridge, it's just two wires. But he sent me the connector, so I soldered that onto the wire, and I plugged that into my Soundtracks Tasami 2 decoder. Boom, and it solved the problem. That was that Conrail engine that I did that. Can you buy a decoder tester? I want to say that Soundtracks doesn't have one, but I think that the ESU came out with a device that'll test any decoder, including Soundtrack. I haven't seen it done. Yeah, ESU sells one. Yes, they have one. I forget what it's called. I test all my decoders on my track here. I have a program called Decoder Pro, and if it doesn't read it, it's giving me a code. And if I don't know what that code means, I call up Soundtracks and I say, hey, I'm getting this code on the decoder. They either tell me do this or they tell me send it back and we'll fix it for you. So that's how I handle my decoders. I have some on the work. I have some in a box that I haven't used yet. The easiest way I test them is I just take an engine, I connect the two trucks to the decoder. I put a speaker on it, and then I put it on the track. If I hear the motor start up, I know it's good. Then I start adding lights and stuff like that afterwards. Lights are the last thing I put on. And I'll put lights on until after I have track power and speaker working. Now with the decoder buddy, I was telling Jim, you put the decoder buddy down, and then you solder the speaker wires and the track power to the decoder buddy. Then you put I put Teflon tape over the solder joints on both ends of the decoder, because on the decoder buddy, you have a motherboard that goes on top of the decoder buddy, and that motherboard is all your lighting. And when you solder the lights onto that motherboard, you can inadvertently touch the solder joint underneath if you're not careful. So live and learn. Put a piece of Teflon tape over top of those solder joints. You'll never have a problem. I had a problem the first time I did it, didn't know any better. that's what I did. I have 4 locomotives SW9, brand new Walters Proto. Chance. The decoders are defective, but it won't show up until you apply power. They're SW9s, brand new. They won't show up until you apply power. Okay, so well, you really need some way of testing those decoders, James, on a piece of test track. You got an NCE system there, right? So you can set up a test track. The only problem with setting up a test track on your layout, I have one. And if I hit program on test track, it shuts down all of the DCC system, and it's just coding on that. That's why I created my workbench in the train room, and that's why I created it here, so I can program engines here, not on the layout. That test track on a layout, I just did it because I didn't have any place else to do anything on. So the other day I was just playing around with it to see if I could get it to work. And then I remembered, oh yeah, that's right. It shuts down. If I had trains running, they would come to a screeching halt because I switched over to a test track. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's something wrong. I've seen decoders get hot because of bad soldering. Okay, I'm not the world's greatest solderer. I'm getting better at it. I never used to use flux, and that's the best thing I've ever come across. So I couldn't figure out how the solder wasn't connecting to the metal, and now I use flux. So it helps me a lot. Matter of fact, I had a solder when I put those lights up. I had the wires through the hole already, and I needed to extend the wire just a little bit so I could connect it to a terminal block. And I soldered them hanging upside down. So all I did was I took my portable soldering iron out there, the battery charged one, and I put flux on the end of the wire, flux on the piece of wire that I'm going to solder onto it. I pre-tinned both. I put a little extra solder on the tip of the soldering iron. I touched the two wires, put the heat on it, and it instantly joined them. So it makes a big difference. So I was in a spot where I was stretching and reaching up like this and trying to get the wires together and holding two wires together, one hanging there and the other one in my hand, and then the soldering iron in the other hand. And so good thing I can do things with both hands, because sometimes I had to hold with the right hand and solder with the left hand. So it you never know what you're going to run into. So that's what happened. So it's but I got off track of the stealth cleaning car. Really interested, JD. Once you get that, I'd like to see that. I'm going to order one myself. Probably order that tomorrow. But at least I have a car to put it on. Yeah, I won't put them on the track. Yeah. Um, yeah, you can't. you can't. I don't know. No, all the ones that I had got hot. Um, I was on my workbench, testing them out and getting them ready, like that. You know, putting the decoder in the engine. Um, Matter of fact, everybody knows the soundtracks decoders that have the purple wrap around them. I think I had a wire touching a solder joint. I don't know what happened, and all the purple started to come off. It burned it right off. So that got really hot. So I sent it back to Soundtracks. They fixed it for me. No big deal. And so um, so that's what happens. Yeah, it's tough to do that. What's that link to, Jim? That's the link to what? I know it's a link, but to what? What's the link to? The track cleaning guy? I can't click on that. See, I'm not in YouTube. I'm in StreamYard, so StreamYard won't let me click on the link. Let me see if I can copy it. See, it won't even let me copy it. Uh, the track cleaning dude. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Track Cleaner. Yeah. It's a good thing. He has 174 now. Yeah. He must have jumped a lot because he was down, like when I subscribed to him, I was number 55 for him. Yeah, the invisible track cleaner. That's right, Dave. Very good. That's why I was asking you about shows coming up, Dave. I wanted to get me a couple of old engines, like DC engines, and as long as I have the frame and everything, then because I I sent my kids my Christmas list the other day. One of them is a drill press, so hopefully I'll get a drill press for Christmas. Good, good. Yeah, he'll like that. I'll have to tell him that I got you guys to sub to him. And yeah, him and I have been emailing back and forth about different things and stuff. So I'm trying to get it straightened out. Made in China. What's made in China? He's not made in China. He's in Michigan, in the United States. He's in Michigan. It's not in China. Oh, drill press. Oh, I don't know where it's made, James. I went on Amazon, found one for a reasonable price, and I don't care where it comes from as long as it works. Um, I found one, a drill press for to hook up a Dremel tool. I says no. After I burned out the Dremel tool for drilling out that engine to get the hole made bigger so I can put a speaker in there, I said no way. I wish I had a drill press. So yeah, they are. So, but I didn't want a real big one. I just want something small I can put on my in the house here, in the on the workbench, and it has a vise on it. And that's what I found. It was like $90. Not that bad. I have two, one made in Canada 65 years. Yeah, well, when they're homemade, they're always better when they're made homemade. Not you homemade, but I mean made in your country. But um, that's what's um, so that you can buy the kit and then put them in your own. So drilling the holes with you need. It says on the website, minimum tools you need is a drill press and a vise. DMRJ. Hello. How are you? How you doing, Dan? Thanks for stopping in. So that's what I'm going to start working on. Um, I think uh, I'm going to buy one frame from them since I got the shell, and hopefully the 3D image is the right size and it fits on there. Because he has the frames with the wheels on it, and I have some extra decoders, and I'll just put this in front of one of the trains. Yeah, I'll put road name on it, road number, stuff like that. I think I'll leave it this black. Then I'll know the black engines are the cleaning cars. So I was just trying to use up my black film in the A1. It's been sitting in there for a while, and I got to get that going. I need a small drill press to hold 1 millimeter bits. Well, Dave, yeah, 1 millimeter bits is small. Um, the smallest I've seen on the drill presses was a quarter chuck, but you could probably get an adapter to go into the quarter chuck that would hold a smaller bit. Then you can make 1 millimeter holes in things, right? They have adapters that you can put into chucks, right? I mean, this here uh, kit that I got, I don't know if you were here, Dave, when I showed this earlier. Um, this is a strip screw set. You can remove strip screws from anything. And this has an adapter. That goes into a 1/4 inch bit there. And then this will hold one of these bigger. This one here will go into there. And then you can put this into a Dremel tool or a handheld drill or something like that. Yeah, they make a drill press attachment for the Dremel tool. Yes, it's on Amazon. Look it up. You'll see it there. I didn't like the idea because I don't think the Dremel tool is powerful enough for drilling through metal. Okay, all I was doing was grinding with a grinder, and it burned out the Dremel tool. Now, I don't know if they have a special Dremel motor that goes on the drill press, but the Dremel tool that I bought, that I put the soft metal that's inside an engine. That metal is tough. You can't solder onto that metal. I had it down to Joe Rader's house. Joe's still in here. He'll remember. We scraped and scraped and scraped, and then he got it soldered on, but then it came off. So I just drilled 2 holes, and then I screwed a brass screw in there, and then I was able to solder the wire to that screw, and then that made good contact. So that's the only way. It won't solder to that metal, and it burned out my Dremel tool. So to drill that out, I don't know. But these are, I don't know who makes those engines. AHM, maybe, with the full metal shell. I mean, the full metal chassis. You got the chassis, right, with the trucks on it, but then they have this big metal thing that goes all the way around and it surrounds the motor, right? So it adds weight to the engine. Okay, so I don't know who makes them, but I think that might work. Yeah, well, so I'm getting a regular. My wish list is a regular drill press. Has a 1/4 inch truck on it, and I have 1/4 inch bits, and you have to drill. And I think for the stealth track cleaning car, to DIY it yourself, you have to drill. I want to say a 3/16 inch hole, something like that. Then you have to bore out the top. You just have to bore out certain amount. He's got the schematic up on his website, and you drill the hole through, and then you bore out just a little bit. That's where the spring goes, and that spring keeps the screw in, so it don't go all the way through. So it's going to be interesting to see. So I like to get one, see how it is. Well, yeah, but I like to do things myself too. So that's why I want to go to like a train show and get some old junker engines, $5, $10, whatever they are. I don't need the motor to work. Don't care if the motor works. I'm going to take it out anyway. And if I get a nice shell, that's all I'm interested in is the shell. And then I can make my own, drill them out, and I go from there. So that's what I was planning to do. And then all I know is when I watched his videos, you could see how clean his tracks are. You look at other guys' videos of their tracks, you don't know if they're clean or not. It's hard to tell, but his was shiny as hell. So yeah, I want a shell with the chassis. That's it. With the trucks on it, couplers, stuff like that. Yeah, very polished. Yes, they are. And That's what I said. The two pads in the front are polishing pads. And then the two packs in the back are, I think, a 400 grit paper. And that's what cleans. That's the material that I have. If I go around by hand and do that, mine will be shiny too. But then I got to keep doing that all the time. I don't want to do that all the time. I have a lot of track. The helix would take me 2 days to do. So an engine being pushed around with the train all the time, it'll keep the track clean all the time. I don't have to worry about doing it. So I would run it. When I stop the train, take that train engine off, look at the pads. They look good, leave it on there. If they look bad, change them. So the only thing I want to do is see if I can find those small pads locally. Who sells them that small? I don't know. So that's the other thing I got to find out. His kit, you get the pads with the kit, but you're going to need more pads. I don't want to buy more kits to get more pads. I want just pads to replace the pads on there. So we'll have to see. But that's coming down the line. But we'll see from there and stuff. No, I'm not taking his design. He even says on there you can DIY it yourself. He'll sell you the parts to do it. He sells you the assembled chassis for certain models. He sells you the kit to do your own models. He sells you the hopper cars, open or closed to your liking, to do for a track cleaning car. So you're not taking his design, you're using his design, and he's okay with that because you're buying the parts from him to make it. Because he wouldn't sell you just the parts if he didn't want you to do it yourself. It even says DIY it yourself. That's on his website. Go to his website, James, and you'll see. You can find his website on his channel. If you look at one of his videos in the description, it has his website on there. And you just go to his website and you'll see all the parts and all the models. He's got F7 chassis and GP chassis that fit GP 38 and I think 40s and 50s, I think. I'm not sure. He even said that he does have SD 40s, but they don't come with the wheels or the trucks on it. So I didn't see that on his website, but he told me to contact him. I can talk to him on the phone and he can get me an SD40 chassis. But I don't have an SD40 shell to print. All the SD40s that I found out on the SD file sites is a complete engine. I mean, it's the whole engine with the chassis on it, the trucks on it. I don't want to print the trucks and the chassis part. I just want to print the shell and then put the thing on it. There you go. Thanks, John. Yeah. And that'll help out everybody who wants to go there and check it out. He's a good guy. I talked to him once, and I'll be talking to him again. And he even said I could send him an engine, and he'll do the conversion for me. So he works with you. So it's not like you're stealing. I'm not recreating his thing. I'm just going to use his template model and make it. But I like to see one first before I do, anything. Like I, I want to make a model. I got to see it first. I want to see what it looks like, and then I can model it after that or something like that. So um, that's the plan. So then the tracks will be cleaned on a regular basis. I don't have to worry about getting the um, uh, getting out the mineral spirits and putting on a cork and doing this and all that stuff, and which works, but it takes time to do all that. And a track cleaning car makes it easier. Just that you got to find one that'll work on your track. And I got most of my trains are consists except for three. The two subway trains are single engine train. Uh-oh. Oh, I just froze for a second. I guess StreamYard is acting up. And I and then my passenger train on the first level is a single engine. So I can put another GP engine in front of that and make it a consist there. So with the decoder in the cleaning car, you can consist it and the horn will blow and all that stuff, and consistent with the consist and stuff like that. And that headlight, that 3 millimeter light in the front there is bright, and you can see it. And that I thought that was pretty cool when he showed that in his videos, how they didn't even flicker an inch. So, all right, guys. Well, I've been on here for an hour and a half, and John Nippingberg. Hey, John, welcome. I was just going to say good night to everybody. How you doing, John? Thanks for stopping in. You have to watch the replay to catch everything, but I appreciate everybody for stopping in tonight, and we'll catch you all later. Thanks again for stopping in. I'm going to put up the other video now, and outro, open, and out to stage. Oh, wait, why isn't that not showing? Wait a minute. Okay, I got to do this again. It didn't work. Video, outro, open. Add to stage. There we go. Okay, everybody. Good night, and I'll be here for. Thanks a lot, John. James, take care. Yeah, thanks, James. So wait, how you doing? I don't think you've seen my subway system. How you doing? I meant to do a better video of the difference on my life there after I it's so busy as all other stuff. I have to do videos. How's that engine? Those two trains up there are the exact same train set that I got from Trainwell. The M28 engine that I converted over to contract and paid. Gets to go fast, it's a little bit faster than the outside train. I don't know why. It's the same motor and everything. Never figure it out. Have to get that track done. All the time. Yeah. Yeah, that's when the signals weren't actually working. I had to fix all them, but we'll see. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good night. Take care.